It's Wednesday, November the 15th, and you're tuned in to the TNIAB podcast. I'm Vince.
I'm Anthony.
And this is the Geek Chic Culture Show where we talk about all the cool things in the whole wide world.
Yes.
I had an interesting day at work today.
Tell me all about it.
So I was in a conference call in my boss's office with some other people.
Okay.
And
Got the story so far.
it was I wasn't really paying attention. Neither was my boss, apparently. Because out of nowhere, he broke out a yoga mat. And he just got on the floor and started doing yoga.
In the middle of a meeting.
In the middle of our conference call.
Oh, it's a conference call, whatever.
Yeah, but and then he asked us all to join him.
All? Like, who's all?
It was me, another girl, and another guy.
All in the office together.
Yeah, all in the office together. So that was fun. We did that for like 2 hours.
To be honest, I was on a conference call today, and I kind of nodded off during a part of it, but, like, doing yoga, that's some next level.
He did it in a suit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What?
I was like, damn, I don't know how you did it, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's too advanced for me. I don't have that kind of yoga skills.
Yeah, that was my day. Your day is good?
Yeah, I tried to buy a very expensive video game.
And then
they wouldn't let me see the circuit board, so I didn't buy it.
Are you surprised?
No.
Oh god. That's like me going to a dealership and be like, I want to buy this car. Can I take that engine apart first just to make sure it's got the right component?
No, it's not. It's basically the equivalent for the car analogy is, can I see the engine?
No.
Yes, it is. Because all it is 2 screws and you lift up a case, and that's it. I don't have to touch anything. All I have to do is...
You have to disassemble it.
Okay, the equivalent to the car analogy is, can you take the hood off?
No, the equivalent is, can you open the engine cover?
Okay, sure.
And can I see the pistons?
Can I see that there are spark plugs?
Can I see the pistons?
Yes.
Are these the right spark plugs? And no dealership will say yes to that.
Well, listen. Well, I emailed the guy, and he said, totally understandable. Your request is very reasonable.
Okay.
And that I'm going to see him on Monday.
Okay. You have a date.
I do.
Great.
We'll see.
You know what rhymes with date?
Mate.
Not question.
Gate.
Here's a question from Paul.
Tate.
Ready? Did you read these?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, because I didn't.
Okay, go.
Regardless...
Are you reading question 2 first or question 1? Okay.
Question 1.
It
says, it says from Paul, I haven't submitted a question for a bit,
Hi,
so
Paul.
You're getting 2. Regardless of what one thought of Thor 3...
That's a terrible name still.
No one can deny that Marvel doubled down on the jokes this time. I enjoyed the jokiness, as I've always felt the Thor was dull and one-dimensional.
Okay.
If the MCU went the other direction with it and made all of their movies very serious, like the DC movies, do you think they'd be well received in general, or would the movies tank? I'm only asking because it looked like all of the quote-unquote normies, my wife included, in the theater really loved all of the yucks in Thor 3.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think, like, so I'm one of the very few people, like, you answer your own question just by looking at DC. Like, how well is DC doing in comparison to Marvel?
Amazing.
Not so hot.
No, they are doing great.
They're doing okay.
They're doing great.
Right. They're not doing gangbuster Marvel numbers, and a lot of it people cite as being the serious nature of those movies. I understand that I am an outlier in this situation, and I would like more serious, quote-unquote, superhero movies. It's, for me, the turn with Thor is, I never felt that Thor 1 or 2 were super... To be honest, though, I don't really remember Thor 2 at all.
And I think that's why they changed it for 3.
But you can still have a serious story without resorting to pure comedy. And I think they saw that, okay, Thor 2 didn't do so hot, so we're going to turn it into Guardians. Right? And I don't know, I was thinking about it over the week since the last podcast. And, like, if I compare it to Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange is still very spacey. It's very out of quote unquote out of this world.
I guess so.
Right. But it didn't nearly come off. It didn't come off nearly as like joke-tastic, I guess, as Thor 3 did. and it still was able to tell a really intricate story and teach you about the importance of Doctor Strange and all that stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Marvel's obviously doing the right thing because it's making them hella money. If you want that to be your sole like barometer for how good a movie is. But for me personally, I thought that movie was too jokey for the source material they were trying to convey. Right?
Okay.
For the story of Asgard and the story of all that. So.
Oh, makes sense.
What about you?
I wouldn't deny that. I think I'm more on the side that says, I think the jokiness thing, that's just what's in now.
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Okay.
All Marvel movies are gonna go that way, and then when people get sick of that, they'll move on. I think Marvel benefited a lot from the fact that DC was so dark back in the Batman Begins Christian Bale days, and those movies were fantastic.
Those movies are great,
right? No one will deny that. There's no jokes in that movie or
There's a Joker in that movie.
He ain't funny though.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, that pencil joke's pretty good.
The pencil joke's pretty good.
Yeah.
When he goes away from the kitchen table with all the grenades in his pocket.
It's not the same type of jokes though. It's not the same types of jokes. Yeah. And so when Marvel went in the other direction, I think it was something different. But now everyone's doing all the funny, fun stuff. And I suppose that'll last until the bubble pops or the bubble bursts. Well, the second part of the question is, will like the more mainstream audience enjoy it? I don't know. Again, I think it's more of a question of what is the it thing right now.
Yeah.
And that's I didn't go to school for that. I couldn't give you the answer for that. I don't read patterns. I read numbers.
You read patterns and numbers?
Not even.
Okay.
I check for variances.
Okay. I think the bigger question though that we kind of brought on ourselves by answering this question is, do you think that trends are like being quote unquote forced to follow trends better for a movie or a genre or a medium? Like, do you think that people should make the thing that they have in their mind as being the thing, or do you think they should succumb to certain tropes that are popular in order to get their thing seen? Right? Well, like they'll still they won't destroy their vision just to have it, but do you think they'll sacrifice portions of their vision? They should sacrifice portions of their vision in order to appeal to a wider audience.
I think when it comes to these large movies, they don't really have a choice. They kind of have to.
Yeah.
And only because they're not... Who's footing the bill, right?
And does that make the movie suffer not from a financial standpoint, but from like a more artistic standpoint?
I don't know, because I think like when someone goes to make a superhero movie, at some point, a part of you knows that like this movie is more than just your vision.
True.
Right? You are not making this because this is... It doesn't matter if you're the biggest fan. At the end of the day, you're making this for like fans of the series, and I think the thing that Disney's doing in even with Star Wars to a certain extent, they're choosing directors whose egos aren't so within the so they're not so into themselves that it will try and do an entire takeover.
Okay.
That's why you see people like being like, oh, director had to leave because of creative differences. Like, I've always felt like that's the case.
That you think the corporation of Disney has a specific set vision and they're going to hire someone that will do whatever they say?
No. I feel like it's the other way around. Like they hire a director who's able to create something that still has their sense of style, but not so much that they deviate from the product that was originally intended.
Okay.
Right. I feel like Disney would never hire someone who would just be so, oh, you're gonna give me the keys to Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a girl.
Yeah.
You know?
Spider-Gwen, we're hanging out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I can see that. Like, especially in movies. Like, movies are such a big investment. Like, especially with all those special effects and all the actors they gotta pay, especially for superhero movies. I can see that being a thing. Though that answer reminded me of this Twitter account I follow.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, but it's always like the different struggles this guy has, like making art. And so it'll be a blob that's an artist doing something. It's like, and the panel always ends in "oh no." And the artist, the artist blob made a block, right? And he's like, it says peace on it, and then it puts it down onto this other blocks, but it's kind of like oblong, right?
Oh, okay.
And then a business blob comes in the second frame. Is like, all right, this is really good. We're just gonna cut this part off here, and it's like the oblong part,
Of
and then
course.
the final one is like it perfectly lines up with the brick wall of things, and then the artist is like, oh no,
Yeah.
right? So it kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell like at which point, especially in these bigger movies that are trying to appeal to pretty much everybody.
I
Like,
think
where does a company's vision lie and where does a director's vision lie?
Yeah, I think that's the hard part, right? Like, if you want to be big and you want to appeal to the lowest common denominator, at some point you're gonna have to make sacrifices in the sense that maybe you won't get your, you know, as
Oscar.
a director, yeah, you won't get your 100% vision of this project.
Or if you're in the case of Adam Sandler, Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2.
You do,
and then you also make make hand over fist, appealing to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a tougher question without being able to like be in a boardroom.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the answer is somewhere in between, right? It's never going to be one or the other. So yeah, like all answers to every question are. It's never yes or no.
No, it's my side of the fence or the wrong side of the fence. Though there are movies that do kind of I feel aren't really tied to. They don't seem like they're tied to profits. They seem like they're tied to the source material, like the Watchmen movie. That seemed really good.
Yeah.
Though to be fair, I've never read the original comic.
Okay.
So, but like that movie feels to me like they just kind of ripped from.
It does.
The thing.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. All right. His second question is: I'm way behind on video games. You and me both.
Why?
You and me both.
Why?
Because he's married.
Gross. Just get a divorce, and then marry someone who plays video games.
Yeah, but that doesn't help your situation.
Yeah, then you both play.
No.
Yeah, then one person has their own TV and the other person has the other TV, and then you're just together strictly for the tax benefit.
Oh, that's disgusting. I'm way behind on my video games, so behind that my most recent console is the PS3.
Well,
that's not that bad.
Like if you're like, I bought Infamous on the PS3 and that was it, like 10 years ago, then maybe, but that's one gen. Yeah. That's not too bad.
I don't know. Maybe it's the Wii. Yikes.
That's not that bad.
Didn't the Wii come out after the PlayStation 3? Or did they come out together?
I don't remember. I just know the Wii U had good games and no one bought it.
Yeah, but he's talking about the Wii.
I know, I'm just saying. Wii U guys, give it some love.
Well, with Black Friday nearly upon us, I think it's time to rectify that thanks to all of the sales.
Ooh.
I won't ask for which system you think is better, but for someone who doesn't do any online gaming and is really bad at first-person shooters, would you recommend going with the PS4 and catching up on the whole library of games, or going the Switch and being current?
So he is asking us what system is better, but what system is better specifically for him?
Yeah, I've always been in PlayStation and Nintendo camp, so I'm limiting it to these two. I know that mileage will vary depending on my own preferences, so it's more about which experience do you guys prefer. Would you like to have an entire library at your disposal, or would you rather be on the cutting edge? This is an easy answer.
I have both.
This is an easy answer.
Are we gonna answer at the same time?
We can.
All right, like 1, 2, 3, then bop.
Okay.
Okay, so our answer is either
the Switch,
either the Switch or PS4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, Switch.
PlayStation 4.
What?
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
All right.
First of all,
explain your reasoning.
First of all, he puts Switch as cutting edge. Okay. I would have to disagree with that statement.
It's not cutting edge.
No, it is not. If you want cutting edge, you're still getting the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And if you want an entire library, you're still getting the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. The Switch is a novelty. I feel like totally Zelda and apparently Mario Odyssey are fantastic and probably worth it. And you know what? In your situation, that might be good just because it doesn't sound like you need a whole library if you're limited on time.
Yeah.
So maybe you only need those 2 games. I would just go for a PlayStation just because of it offers a lot more. That box offers a lot more.
It does. It's a Chromecast in it. There's streaming. There's backlog of games you can get for like dirt cheap that are really good.
Yeah, the PlayStation is what? It's coming up on 5 years?
I think so. We're about due for a new console announcement.
5 or 4 years. I don't know. So like you have, and there's a lot of good stuff on there. There's a lot of stuff still coming out on it. That's what I would go for. I don't know why you picked the Switch.
I'm picking the Switch because I'm thinking it more of a... Because if he's not playing games that much in general, like I imagine it, like the PS4 would turn into what the PS4 turns into at my family's or my extended family's place, which is just like, here's this box. We bought it when it came out. It's covered in dust, and sometimes we turn it on for Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whereas with the Switch allows you to have more opportunities depending on your lifestyle to play it. Like if you take public transit, play a bunch of Switch.
Mm-hmm.
If you need a break at work, play a bunch of Switch.
Mm-hmm.
If you're at home, just dock it in the TV. You're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on a trip, you have it with you, and you have a whole console. I pick the Switch because it depends on what his lifestyle is like. And again, also the thing you said of if he's not keeping up with video games,
Yeah.
I don't think the backlog really matters to him. It doesn't sound like.
Mm-hmm.
So why not go with the Switch? Get those great first party Nintendo games.
Yeah.
And also they're coming out with the more backlog games on the Switch. Like Doom is coming out. They're
Mm-hmm.
releasing Skyrim again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the Switch is having a shortage
Okay.
of video games. And also the Switch offers a lot of indie titles, which are cheaper and then also shorter. So you could actually get through more games without breaking your bank.
Interesting. The realist answer is get the console that your friends have.
Yeah, that's the realist
answer.
answer.
That's the realist answer.
Well, I'm trying to think of like what games that aren't shooters
Are on
are
PlayStation.
on PlayStation.
Monster Hunter.
None of his friends play Monster Hunter. Unless he considers us friends.
Anthony, I'm just telling you, man. Next time you want to use that argument against me, I'm going to pull out Monster Hunter.
And I'm going to be like, yes, that is a solid argument for me, you, and Tristan and TJ. And that's it.
So, and he's asking the people here in this room, and by that argument, we have to say PlayStation now.
I'm still saying Switch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it depends on your lifestyle. If you find yourself, like, if you don't want to be that person who busts out a Switch in public, or, like, busts out a Switch at work, like, get a PlayStation. Right? If like a social stigma is keeping you back from playing games outside of your home, then don't get a Switch.
I don't know. It's tough to say. I feel like every real adult I know, because I'm not a real adult.
Listen, we have jobs now.
Yeah, but we're not real adults.
Are you
Every
sure?
real adult I know, and Paul seems like a real adult, they don't play video games on the go. Paul, you can prove me wrong, but
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I'm basically a real adult.
Anthony, no,
I'm basically a real adult.
guys. Okay, this is some behind the scenes
I'm
story.
basically
I'm gonna
a
give
real
you. I'm gonna give you. We had this last week after the show. We had a very long conversation on dress code.
Yeah.
Work dress code.
Yeah, and
I'm only gonna give you one piece.
I abide to my work dress code.
One fucking piece.
I abide to my work dress code.
One piece.
Like the anime?
Uno piece.
Right.
One piece.
One piece.
One piece. I don't know which piece I should go with.
There's so many pieces.
They're just so good. Okay, I'm gonna ask you, Anthony. I'm gonna let you choose. You want the shoe story, the pants story, or the shirt story?
I don't know. I don't remember either.
Yeah, you can give me any one. Just pick a
pants.
Pants story.
All right.
Pants story. Anthony, though he works in an office,
Yeah.
does not have work pants.
I'm wearing them right now. They're
He has
khaki.
one pair of work pants.
I have one pair of work pants.
Uno pair.
Yeah.
I asked him, said, why didn't you get work pants? And what did he tell me?
You want me to tell you what I told you?
He says, okay, obviously the reason he doesn't buy proper work clothes is because he could be buying video games instead.
My office also doesn't care.
Yes. But he told me he doesn't like the way they fit because they're a little too fitted.
No.
Too tight?
I said dress pants. I don't like the way they feel. And also they're too thin. And in the winter it gets cold.
No, you were like they're a little too fitted. You don't like the fittedness of them.
I think listen. Sometimes they're too fitted.
And then he turned around and said, I like jeans. But you know what jeans I like? Slim cut.
Yeah.
The most fucking fitted of jeans.
But they fit. I'm not saying skinny jeans. The thing with dress pants
that's
is I always get
spandex.
this thing where my body's weird. And then I was like, okay, I like the slim fit because I like the slim fit jeans. But the thing is, dress pants, they're always too slim.
Then you get it just a proper tailoring.
It's extra money on top of pants.
Pants aren't expensive. They're like $20. Come on.
Yeah, and then it's like another $2 on top of $20. That's a quarter of a video game.
Fuck, man. You're about to spend $400 on Chrono Trigger.
I am. This is why I can't afford pants.
Fuck.
But imagine the value of that game through the roof when I get it signed.
When are you gonna get it signed?
December. When I go
Okay.
see Distant Worlds. And I meet Nobuo Uematsu for the second time.
Yeah, but you need the other guy.
Oh, I do.
The director.
Well, I'll get both.
You need the gooch.
Eventually. I need Sakagooch? I don't think the Gooch did Chrono Trigger.
You should get him to sign it anyway.
No.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. That's your question answered. So we say PlayStation 4.
I say the Switch, but
All
it
right.
depends on your lifestyle.
All right. Also know that Anthony is a lot more lenient with his video game opinions.
What do you mean lenient?
I
think I'm pretty harsh.
You will tell me right now that the Switch has a healthy game library, and I will say it does not.
Well, it depends.
He's way more lenient.
Are you okay with older stuff? Are you okay with a sweet Neo Geo platform like I am?
See?
Listen, all I'm saying, Magical Drop's on there.
Just all I'm saying,
Waku 7's on there.
Going on your question, Paul, do you want the library or the cutting edge? You can have both. It's called the PlayStation.
With the Switch.
No, the Switch is the opposite of both. The Switch is the most recent.
My argument still stands for Paul of it doesn't sound like a healthy library matters to him because it doesn't seem like he's gonna go through it anyways.
But he put that in his question.
Yeah, I want a lot of things too. But
all right. I also don't think cutting edge matters to him.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say PS4.
Oh my god.
The Switch is not cutting edge. It's a new fun technology. It comes with 2 controllers, so you can have multiplayer times if you're married and your husband or wife is like, or your partner is like, hey, check, like, you're always playing Mario, and then you should toss him a controller. You're like, shut up, play Cappy, like, let's go.
Wow, you're gonna put him in the bitch seat?
Yeah, the bitch seat.
Wow. Okay.
And also, Puyo Puyo Tetris on the go.
Wow. Okay. Well, Paul, do me a favor, buy both. Tell me which one you're most disappointed with.
Make sure you buy a Pro. Obviously, just spend those bucks. BUX bucks.
Ugh. Anyways, let's talk about what did we do this week?
Thanks for the question, Paul.
Yeah,
I
great.
appreciate it. It's fun.
It was great.
To see how wrong Vincent is. Wait, what?
No, I'm pretty sure I'm the right one. You know what? No, take Anthony's advice. Buy the Switch, and then be disappointed in your decision, and then return it.
That's just me.
Yeah. Let's see. This week we didn't do anything.
I got some new stuff.
No, I mean we didn't.
Oh, no reviews because Justice League comes out Friday.
Yeah. Same with the Punisher.
Yeah. So it'll be a busy week next week.
Yeah, but talk in terms of the picks of the week. Do we have any?
I have 2.
I got one.
So you want me to start, or you want to start?
Yeah, you can go.
All right. So my first one is the weird Eureka fighting game that was teased on April Fools earlier this year. That turned out to be a real video game. Is getting a beta, and the beta came with new trailers. The game is called Fighting EX Layer, like LAYER.
How unfortunate.
And I'm like, that's a super Japanese name. Hot damn.
Yeah.
But it looks like an EX game, for better or for worse, whether or not you like that series or you didn't like that series. It looks like a Street Fighter EX game.
Yep.
And I'm super down. So the beta is coming out December 11th.
Yep.
And with it came some new characters. That's basically all of it is from that.
Right.
So that's just a quick pick. But my pick has to do with EA and Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh, you want to talk about this, huh?
So this thing went nuts because it is still all over the internet.
Yeah.
So I think it was review copies came out of the game, or people were sent copies, and people started realizing like, hey, there's microtransactions in this game, like they said, there's loot boxes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But what people didn't expect is I guess allegedly is how egregious this stuff is.
Yeah.
So
tell me how egregious.
Okay, so I was on the new gaming forum Reset Era. Or Reset Era.
Oh, is that the new forum?
That's the NeoGAF replacement.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Reset Era.
All right.
And so someone got a copy and they did the math on it. So unlocking everything in Battlefront 2 just through gameplay.
Yeah.
Will take you an approximately 4,528 hours. And how they figured this out is based off of the average amount of credits you get per match, how long a match is, then combined with the total of all the unlocks in the game. So directly from the forum is there's a grand total of 324 cards. Upgrading these cards require a total of 155,520 crafting parts. This requires a grand total of 3,111 loot boxes, which will require that many hours of gameplay, the 4,000 plus hours.
Okay.
Or if you want to go the paid route, the 600, where'd it go? So 600 credits are received from a hero crate is worth 27% of what a crate is worth. All right. The equivalent to 30 crystals, blah, blah, blah. He did a bunch of math. So he rounded out some crystals to 80. So it matches up with the crystals that you get from a player box. If you strictly buy the best value crystal crate, which is the $100 crate, it costs you a total of 2,100 American dollars to unlock every single thing by paying extra money.
Wow.
And people saw this and went absolutely bonkers. So EA now holds the record for the most downvoted post of any Reddit post, period.
Oh, wow.
It is currently sitting at negative 675,000 downvotes.
Wow.
And their post was, the intent was to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment from unlocking different heroes. As for cost, we selected initial values based on data from the open beta and other adjustments made to the milestone rewards before launch. Among other things, we're looking at average per player credit earn rates on a daily basis, and we'll be making constant adjustments. And basically they're saying that we did a bunch of data and this is how we came up with the numbers. And yeah, people did not like that answer, and it got downvoted into the ground.
Of course. Why would you like that answer?
After that, EA came out with an update, and they said that they are going to reduce the cost of heroes and unlocks by 75%, which is nothing to sneeze at. 75%, that's some fire sale shit going on there.
Yeah.
But what they did not say in that post is that they also decreased the amount of credits you earn per match by the same amount.
Oh, no.
So effectively, nothing has changed.
Oh, no.
Right? And that got them in even more shit.
Wait, but, well, that... Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay.
Right? So, they didn't do that. EA came out with an official response saying that, we hear you and blah, 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 and all your anger and stuff. Then, today, Wednesday, as we're recording this, EA has allegedly removed the refund button on the customer portal for purchases made on their digital store or through their store physically.
Yeah.
So they lost 70,000 approximately pre-orders.
Yeah.
Since that announcement, they removed that button, and the only way, at least from me reading this, that you could return a copy of that game was to go contact customer service, which had an average of an hour to an hour and a half wait time.
Yeah. Damn.
So EA kind of shit the bed on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. That was definitely someone in a suit who just got that position. You're like, Star Wars sells like hotcakes.
Yeah, right. And I think the crazy thing is sure, pre-release, you tested the waters and everyone blew up, but to then go and say you fixed the problem and then not tell everybody that you also did something that doesn't fix the problem, it just makes all the numbers lower.
Yeah.
That's really fucking shady.
Yeah, it is.
And I've heard there's also loot boxes in the new Need for Speed game, which are pretty bad. Not as bad as Battlefront. But all this news, all it does is make me worried about EA games that I'm excited for, like Anthem.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like EA's response to Destiny. Destiny already has loot boxes and stuff. But if they're going this far with Battlefront, I can't imagine what they're going to do with a game that's kind of driven around that kind of stuff. If they keep on their same track, right? That's assuming they don't.
I definitely think Battlefront is a little bit of a, let's say, slightly unique case because it is Star Wars.
Yeah,
and it's they want to see what they could get out of it. But nevertheless, it does set a precedent for EA games.
Yeah, it also brought up the question in a lot of gaming circles of, are loot crates gambling?
Oh, okay.
Uh, in the same way, I see the comparison of a slot machine.
Yeah.
You put in money, you roll the dice.
Yeah.
Did you win? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right. Whereas, or I think the slot machine analogy isn't perfect because
Not really, because the monetary you get from a slot machine is not. I wouldn't say it's equivalent to the what you get out of a loot
yeah,
box.
but also like if you lose in a slot machine, you get nothing,
Yeah,
right? And you just do it again.
that's true.
Whereas in a loot box, you at least get something.
What I get dupes?
Then you get sweet Overwatch gold.
Uh.
Right? And so it brought up the question is are loot box gambling? Should loot boxes be age gated? Should loot boxes be in video games, especially in franchises that are appealing to younger audiences?
Yeah.
And I thought that was a pretty interesting discussion. I don't think unless you have something to say on it.
I feel like they need to put like ID checks in your controller at some point, just to make purchases.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, so you don't get the story of like 6-year-old kid took
Yeah.
mom's debit card and
Yeah.
put them into
There
debt.
there has to be something like put in place to be able to buy stuff online or like buy additional content.
Mhm.
It's too, especially for like all those like one like buy now one click features,
Oh
just make
yeah,
it
those are
way too
crazy.
easy. So
Like Steam sales are the worst for that. Like I have
yeah,
my stuff saved to my Steam account, and
yeah,
then when a sale comes up, you're like, oh whatever, 15 games for $10,
yeah,
great.
yeah. Ugh,
They just make it really easy.
I know.
Uh, oh, that was an interesting topic when I was in school, which is the more obstacles you put in the way of a customer trying to pay for things,
Yeah,
the less likely they are to buy your thing,
of course.
right? And the easier you make it, the more likely they're going to buy it.
Yeah, man.
And it's like, man, that's
Nothing's worse than when I'm standing in line to buy something and then they
you
go,
think about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like, do you want to sign up for this credit card too? And I'm like, fuck this.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
I changed my whole decision. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that stuff is it's kind of ridiculous.
Yep.
But man, EA just
Amazing.
their PR team must be on fire right now cuz I can't I maybe it wasn't even their decision. Like cuz obviously the developers didn't do this stuff.
Are you sure?
Maybe they did. Maybe they're all fucking devious and they're like, "Yo, these suits," and they're just deflecting it up to the suits, right?
Yeah. I bet you that is the case. It's like, because, like, no one's going to blame us. It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Someone from. Everyone will just believe us if we say it was from the
Oh
top.
yeah, it was from Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine that like the developers of the game, or at least some of them, didn't have a hand in crafting this stuff. If not, it was we were told to craft it and to obtain a certain margin of profit.
And, well,
or
I don't know.
what they did, like that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I think another interesting story that came out of this is a case of seemingly false identity.
Yeah.
Is that someone came out on Twitter and said that they were a game dev at EA, and they said it's been 24 hours since the whole kerfuffle. They've received like 10 death threats and like been harassed over 1,000 times on their account and blah blah blah. And
Makes
people
sense.
are like, hey, like this shit sucks.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be harassing, sending death threats, blah blah blah. The thing is, though, I think his name is Jason Schreiker. He works for Kotaku,
Okay.
and I can never pronounce his last name.
Okay.
But he did some digging, and he's like, I don't think this guy actually works at EA.
Huh?
So apparently, someone's been posing as a fake EA employee, saying they're getting death threats, and it caused a firestorm in like the news media for video games,
Oh,
and even
man.
like kind of like New York Times reported on this shit.
Yeah.
Like actual news publications.
Yeah. Someone didn't check their sources.
No one checked their sources except for
Yeah.
Kotaku. That face
Yeah.
when a gaming
Oh,
blog
no.
does more research. Yeah, so it was a whole thing. It's kind of a nightmare. It's as much as I was interested in Star Wars Battlefront 2 because it looked like a better game than the first one.
Yeah.
I am now completely turned off from it, and I definitely won't be buying it.
Oh, we'll see if it goes on sale. Maybe we'll pick it up.
Well, I don't know. Everyone is up to their individual thing, but I'm not going to buy it.
I mean, like, it's a shitty way thing that they've done, but I mean, if I whatever, the game's fine, then I'll play it.
Part of the problem, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I know I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my 2 picks. The EA thing is
You hear about the one
a
about
nightmare.
the other video game Nightmare Story?
Which one?
The one where IGN completely stopped and shut down.
Yeah, there's also wording or like hints coming out that she might have lied as well about that.
I don't know.
So
Man.
it's like, we can talk about it. It's kind of a heavy topic.
I mean, I got nothing. Like I didn't really.
Well, let's give people the breakdown at least.
All right.
So IGN staff or a bunch of staff went on strike pretty much.
Yeah.
An old IGN employee who now works for GameSpot said that allegedly someone in the IGN office had sexually harassed her multiple times, like inappropriately hitting on her, looking down her shirt, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they all went on strike until IGN put out a response.
Yeah.
This raised certain questions, and also in the light of like the Me Too hashtag and all the Harvey Weinstein stuff, like calling people out on stuff is like a big deal now.
Yep.
So yeah, it was like a whole thing. There was I forget where it was, but yeah, there's other things coming out that saying she might have been lying the whole time. But this brings up the bigger topic of, we don't have to talk about this one. It's actually pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, are allegations a reason to just attack somebody?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right? Like if I allege, like, oh, Vince, you physically harassed me.
I sexually abused you.
You sexually abused me.
Or harassed you.
Whatever.
I think abuse is
different. Abuse is a little hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vince, you sexually harassed me in the workplace.
I touched you.
You did X, Y, and Z.
Many times.
I have no proof.
Uh-huh.
And I just say that.
Okay.
Where does that stand on a company standpoint? Like, where do you fire that person? Do you vilify that person even though nothing has been proved and I just said you did something?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? It's kind of a weird situation because there's a lot of companies now, they're just distancing themselves, whether it's true or not.
Yeah, they just like, they don't even think twice about it. They just like,
they're just like, goodbye.
Cut ties. Let's go.
Polygon had that with one of their video editors,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Spacey with House of Cards. That unfortunately turned out to be true.
Yep.
What was his face? Louis C.K. recently.
Wow,
that one was weird.
Yeah.
He's just like, I just invite people up to my house and like whip my dick out and jerk off in front of them. It's like, whoa, man, relax. Fucking relax. Right? But yeah, I don't know. That brought up the question of like, does having something or someone say that you allegedly done something mean that you should be punished for that? Right?
Well,
yeah, allegations are part of
tough.
due process, right?
Yeah.
That like you don't get the due process without an allegation. Like that's number one. But it's like guilt comes before the due process. Like it sounds like now it's, I said you did something, therefore this person who I said is guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's like a tricky question. Like, where does it stop? Where does it start?
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not on the committee who has to decide that kind of stuff. That's why I'm not in the law. But
that's tricky.
Yeah, they say, innocent until proven guilty, but
is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like legally, you might be innocent and proven guilty, but at what point? So say I said that shit against you.
Yeah.
Right. I was just like, Vince, you just inappropriately harassed me in the workplace and blah blah blah. I felt attacked. All this stuff. If then it comes out later that you didn't do any of that, the damage is already done at a certain point, right? Because it's just like I don't know. It's really like,
I don't know how you would like recompense for that.
Yeah, also, or like it's really negative to say, but like I feel it sounds like mainstream or like media in general has been turning very sensationalist.
Mm-hmm.
Like the initial story of I said you did something is going to be much bigger than the it was proven innocent. Like,
of course,
right?
It's always been like that.
And it's kind of shitty. Like how do you come back from that?
You don't.
But then that person gave out false allegations against you. Do you think that those people should have legal recourse for defamation and all that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
And I think they probably have.
They do. I'm sure they do. But in the specific case for her story, I think I think the reason why hers sounds more believable is because they both had moved on from IGN.
Mhm.
Like they both didn't work there at the time of the allegation. Um, and I guess I think that was it, right? Like
Yeah.
they don't work together, and she has a story that seems to coincide, that seems to follow up with what his side is saying.
Mhm.
Only he has a different perspective of how it went down.
Yeah.
So,
And they're gonna have a different perspective, and that's where due process comes in.
yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know. It
Mhm.
just, I don't know. It's a tough question.
So don't do anything stupid at work, guys.
Yeah. Like, also there's another argument of people who say, like, why do you wait so long to come out against it, right? And in this case, I think she said that she went to the HR team
Yeah,
and, like, they did nothing
yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
Um, I would imagine that I would hope that an HR team would do some sort of investigation into
And
that.
well,
And
that's why the whole thing blew up, because the
yeah,
HR team did nothing.
apparently they did nothing, right?
Yeah.
But in certain situations, like the more high profile cases, like the Harvey Weinstein stuff, like at what point is too long?
I don't know.
Right? Like if someone sexually harassed you and you made a decision not to come out, um, regardless of evidence or whatever, at what point is it that you felt your career was more important than you reporting this person for a crime?
That's what you're saying.
Right?
Uh,
Because if they report that person, their career is over,
yeah.
right? And it was only after until they reap the benefits of the actions that they would tell people.
Yeah, no, for sure. I see what you're saying, but at the same time, like everyone's young and they make stupid mistakes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm not saying that's my stance. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's a question.
Like I know, and I'm just trying to like the question you're posing is like obviously there's a you want the yes or no answer, but like the truth of all like anything we talk about.
Again, every single answer
Yeah,
is
it's
somewhere in the middle.
situational. It's whatnot. Like you can't answer that unless you're in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's that.
Open a whole can of worms.
Yeah. You know who else is pretty offensive?
Who? Us?
Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool's also pretty offensive.
He's quite the offensive character. I'm surprised that guy hasn't. No one has come up against him about him sexually harassing.
About Deadpool?
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a joke in there somewhere.
Probably. Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool harassed me. He assaulted me. Yeah, the Deadpool 2 trailer's out.
That's like barely a trailer.
Oh, but it's so good.
It's really good. I like Deadpool Bob Ross.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
His paintings are amazing.
But yeah, continue with the explanation, I guess.
No, he just has a Bob Ross parody. And in typical Deadpool fashion, he paints like Bob Ross.
Yeah.
He has a fucking wig.
And it shows a couple like 1 second
Scenes
from a bunch of the movie. And it seems like it's a little more action packed. Like they got over the origin story, so now they can do some stuff.
Yeah, they're like guns.
Look at all these guns.
Mutants.
Was it the Negasonic teenager is back?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They didn't really show Cable at all.
Yeah, but they probably don't need to yet.
Yeah, he was in one of his Bob Ross's paintings.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to most is just seeing Cable and seeing what's up with that character.
Yeah.
And how they fit him into this crazy.
I hope he has the baby.
The baby?
The baby.
What's a baby?
You know, Cable carries a baby.
Cable carries a baby?
Yeah.
Is it his gun?
I think the story is Cable's from the future.
Yeah, Cable's from the future and he comes to the past.
Because he's here to protect a baby.
Oh.
Oh, he brings a baby to the past?
What? Like Terminator?
Kinda. I can't quite remember.
Huh.
Yeah, I can't remember what the fucking story was.
Cable's weird. All I know is that at one point in this movie, he better yell Hyper Viper Beam.
No!
Or I'm gonna be pissed.
No.
Hyper Viper Beam.
No.
Just MVC2 killing it.
By that standard, I hope Omega Red's in the movie.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, with his tentacle dicks.
Maybe he would, and then they'll make a joke about having tentacle dicks.
Yeah, maybe he will. Great. So that's Deadpool 2. Check it out.
That was a fun trailer.
Very fun.
Yeah. If there's a lot of jokes hidden in the credits,
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd recommend like pausing that as they're scrolling through.
For sure.
Some of those names are pretty good.
Uh-huh. Okay, now we got to the end of the show where we talk about our weeks.
Oh, that's it. Oh, that was fast.
Yeah. Mine is very simple.
Is it Overwatch?
I did play some of that. That's a good game.
It's okay.
Someone says it's the game of the year.
I think I played it for about a month and then stopped playing it.
I've played it for about
Since it came out.
Yeah,
Nonstop.
kinda.
How about those loot boxes?
They're pretty good.
Are Overwatch loot boxes gambling?
No.
You stuttered there for a second.
No, it's investments.
Investment? Okay.
Investments
Right.
into the Overwatch fund.
All right. Okay.
I've probably paid for that. That game is probably worth $500 to me.
Wow.
I think
That's more than Chrono Trigger.
it is. But I got some sweet skins.
All right. Sure.
Anyways, play some of that. More Horizon. Horizon's still fun.
You think you're near the end? Like,
No.
what was the last mission you did?
No, I'm not near the end.
What have you been doing in that game?
Finishing up the Monster Hunting Guild.
Oh, you're doing the guilds?
Oh, I think I finished that guild quest. Like you hunt the big T-Rex at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay.
That's the last thing I did in that game. Yeah.
You get the Terror Blaster or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good gun.
It's good. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially for, like, pro tip, use it against flying enemies.
Yeah.
So they stop moving. Like, especially against, was it Glint Hawks and Storm Falcons? I don't know.
Yeah, it's the bigger one.
Yeah, the huge one.
Yeah.
The air equivalent of the T-Rex.
Yeah. When I saw it in the air, I was like, oh, that's no problem. And then it came closer. I was like,
And you're like, that's
really
really
a problem.
big.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that game was lots of fun. Yeah, the Horizon's a good game.
Do you have anything else to say on it? Anything to add from last week? Or?
No, because I haven't really progressed the story. Like,
is the combat that good to you that you're just like, I want to hold on to this?
I don't know. Actually, I think I just kind of like doing things here and there, just going back and forth.
Okay.
And then I just end up getting caught up and stuff. I think I'm at because the way like I do these games is like I want to unlock all the abilities to override everything. Like I want to do all the cauldrons.
The cauldrons are visually really cool.
Yeah, and so like I think I've done more than half of them.
Okay.
And it's dumb, but like I know when I go back to the main story, it's gonna be like, oh, this is gonna be a breeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you do. It's an RPG.
Yeah. So. That's what I'm doing.
Go fight this Thunderjaw. No, and then you just hack it.
It's like, oh, you won.
You won, and also you killed everyone else because the Thunderjaw's on your side.
Yeah, so that's basically what I want to do.
Okay.
The game's it's good. It's very good. Then I watched more in my free time. I've just been watching more Little Witch Academia. I think I'm on like 10 episodes in.
Okay.
That's definitely Harry Potter, like weekly Harry Potter with
really
with fun anime girl witch semantics.
So does this continue off from the OVAs? Or
No,
is this a completely separate
completely
thing?
It's on its own.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's real fun. Like they build out the world right. They have little fun like character like based episodes. They have a. It's like a standard anime, not standard, but like all the anime expected episode tropes are there.
Is there a beach episode?
I believe I'm coming up on one.
Okay.
So it'll be there soon.
Training camp.
Totally.
All right.
There's one where they learn to
be friends.
I think that's like every episode.
Oh, okay.
They go to like the hidden part of the school, the hidden part of Hogwarts that's walled off.
Okay.
And then they find a mirror or a portal
or a closet.
Oh, something.
Okay.
And then magic ensues.
All right.
Yeah. It's that kind of show.
Sounds pretty cool.
I'm really into it.
You have sold me on it more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Because everyone else I talk to is just like, you should watch the show, Anthony. Why? Because it's cute. And I'm like, that doesn't tell me anything.
Like it is cute, but it's more like, yo, it's fucking Harry Potter.
But it sounds like it's on top of being cute. It sounds like it's a well-made show.
Oh, it's very well made.
So
it definitely has a budget behind it, and you're just like,
okay.
Oh yeah, this budget's never gonna fade.
Well, yeah, they didn't use any of the budget in Space Patrol, that's for sure. Like one character just stands there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Did you know they released Space Patrol on Blu-ray over here?
Did they really?
Yeah, it's like $70.
Ooh.
Yeah, anime's expensive.
That's a bargain. No, that's actually a ripoff.
Yeah, whatever, man. That show's like 5 seasons.
Space Patrol?
Yeah, Space Patrol Luluco. That's like a 5-season show.
Oh yeah, it is a 5-season show.
They're 3-episode seasons, and also they're 10-minute episodes, but 5 seasons.
So many. Wait, 130 minutes? Is that what you're telling me? For $70?
Yeah.
That's a ripoff when you consider the Gurren Lagann Blu-rays are $150
You get
for 26 episodes and 2 movies.
let's just say this. Unlimited content, because the show is so good, you'll watch it over and over again.
Gurren Lagann, yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I have.
It's a good show.
Multiple times.
So, like, I think that's one of the few animes that we both are like, no, that show's fucking great.
Yeah, okay. Fine. Fine. But yeah, so Little Witch is great. I would definitely recommend it. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. Okay. Still playing Mario Odyssey, but I like super finished it now.
Oh.
I did all the post game stuff.
Oh.
Like all of it in terms of levels that you unlock after the post game. I did not get every single moon. I did not collect every single costume.
Well, okay.
But I have completed both bonus dungeons.
Oh.
And those are hard. You unlock those by getting X amount of moons, and they unlock secret areas.
Okay.
But one is a boss rush. It's pretty hard. And then the final one is like a secret world, pretty much.
Mm.
And you have to go... I think in total, it's like... If you're taking your time and being careful, it's probably like 40 minutes of gameplay. Of like really... Like of the hardest platforming in the whole game. No checkpoints.
Okay.
So there was a point where I learned eventually, because I beat it, I was one stage away from the final run, and I died. And I lost 35 minutes of progress.
Whoa.
And I felt so defeated.
Whoa.
Yeah. In a Mario game.
Okay.
Right? But what I did learn is the power of amiibos. So it turns out if you scan any Peach amiibo, it gives you... So this game has the heart life system where you have 3 hearts, and if you get a king heart, you get an extra layer, so you get 6 hearts in total.
Mm-hmm.
If you scan any Peach amiibo, you get a king heart. Doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, you just get it.
Okay.
Also, there's no cooldown on it.
Oh, that could sound useful.
So I was sitting at my friend's house while we were marathoning a bunch of bad video game movies.
Yeah.
And during when we're watching the ones I've already seen, I played Mario, and I took his Peach amiibo, and I went scan. So I kind of cheated.
I think you cheated a lot.
I kind of cheated, but I beat it.
Okay. Okay.
And you get some cool rewards at the end of that game for doing that stuff, but it's definitely hard.
Okay.
Like going through it with only the 6 lives is a feat.
Okay.
It's impressive if you can.
All right.
The only thing about that final level is that it doesn't let you really play around with the mobility options that Mario has, especially with Cappy.
Okay.
They're very rigid and strict rules, where if you don't follow the rigid and strict rules, you'll just die. Like, because everything is surrounded by bottomless pits or just lakes of lava.
That's no fun.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like a lot of it too is like trial and error. Like they have the equivalent of a Mega Man disappearing block puzzle in the game, and if you just don't get it on the first time, you just fall into a lake of lava and burn to death.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
so I don't like that.
That stuff kind of sucks. It's also a shame because everything else was crafted so great that I wish that this bonus level like really made you use Cappy and momentum and all that stuff to its fullest potential, but it kind of doesn't.
Okay.
So,
Piece of shit.
Game sucks. 4 out of 10 game's butt.
Yeah.
But it's still one of the best games I played this year.
Better than Zelda?
No.
Oh.
But
okay, I know your number 1 is done. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Done. All right.
But that's a hot game. That is a hot game. That's really good. And then I played some board games or some electronic games involving cards and non-electronic game. So do you want me to start with music or non-music?
Tell me about Drop.
All right. So I played Drop Mix.
Yep.
Drop Mix is a new board game that is in conjunction with Hasbro and Harmonix.
That sucks.
Harmonix, if you don't know, makes Rock Band, right? And they made the original Guitar Hero. They make all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
All kinds of rhythm games. And how this game works is you buy... And
Hasbro makes toys, guys.
Hasbro makes toys. Just FYI, they like... You ever heard of toys?
Yeah.
That's Hasbro.
All right.
So, you buy this thing. It's a physical board.
Gross.
And it's got 5 spots in it.
Did you buy this?
I bought it.
Okay, $100.
$100
Did
because
you get it with the Discovery Pack?
yes,
Okay.
it was a free. So there's a sale going on at Toys R Us. It was $30 off for a flat 100, and then you also get a free booster pack.
Yeah.
Because this game is a collectible card game. So if you buy the game, you get 60 cards, 60 base cards, and they're different. What I didn't know is that each card is assigned to a faction.
Yep.
Right? And so there's sets of cards that you can complete.
Mm.
And how it works is that there's 5 separate slots on the board, and they each have different colors associated to them. And the colors correspond with a type of instrument or vocals or beat on the card that you have.
Yep.
So each card you have is a song. So say, for example, so one is Scenario by A Tribe Called Quest, right? On that card may only be the drum riff, right? And it's blue. And you can only put that card down in a spot that has a blue space. But you might have another Tribe Called Quest Scenario card that's only vocals. And then you put that down in the vocals section. And so each card has its own color, and you can only put in that color, except for wild cards. Wild cards have all the colors, they're rainbow, and if you put them down in a single color spot, they'll only play the one single color.
Yeah.
But if you put them down in a dual color spot, they'll play both. Right? And so they're kind of wild cards. And how the game works is that you're dropping down different cards to make different mixes. The thing is, though, to play this game, you need a separate smart device. Like a phone,
that's right. You
like
do
a
need,
phone
you need
or
a
a
phone.
tablet or an iPod with internet connection that can download apps.
Yeah.
And so you download the DropMix app, and the only way you can get sound or play the game is also while you have your thing that's 4 AA batteries, is to lay your smart device in the spot it has designated on
That's
the board.
crazy.
Yeah, to just assume people have that.
Cause like when I saw this concept, I thought, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it is crazy that you need a smart device. And that's why I was like, it's $100 for this fucking board.
Yeah.
That doesn't do this shit for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what the board does is it's Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Right. And so it Bluetooths to your phone, and then if you want, you can Bluetooth from your phone to an external speaker. This shit eats my battery.
Yeah.
It eats it. Right? Because it has to be on at all times. The screen is always on. It's pumping out music.
Yeah.
It's Bluetooth to the thing. It's eating my battery. And so there's different modes. There's freestyle mode, where you can just take cards, put them down, try and make cool beats, and you can save them. There's versus mode. And what versus mode is, it's either 2-on-2 or 1-on-1.
Ooh.
And so you each pick a set of cards, and you put them down, and you divide up the teams. And how it works is that someone on your team has 2 turns. So one person will put down one card, the other person will put down another card. And on the cards are an intensity meter. So when you put down a card, say, of 1 intensity, it goes all the way up to 3. You put it down, and it makes the beat a certain way.
Yeah.
But the only cards you can lay over top of those cards are of equal or greater intensity. So if you put down a 1 and I put down a 2, you can't put down a 1 anymore. Unless you use one of your turns to press the drop mix button on the board, which then rolls a wheel and then tells you you can take away X many cards of your opponents that are on the board, and it clears that space. And every time you put down a card, you get a point. Every time you put down a card of a new beat type, you get a point, an extra point. And then you can play these special like power-up cards that let you play extra cards or draw extra cards and all this stuff, right? And that's pretty fun because some of it is just like, some of the game is spite. Like you just like, you went over my mix that I like, fuck you, I'm gonna put this garbage song on here. I'm gonna get points for it. Now this mix sucks. Right? And then the other part is like, it's cool to work against someone, but to still kind of work cooperatively to make a good beat. Right?
Fun.
And everything is mixed for you. And then the 1-on-1 one is just, you take 2 decks and you shuffle them together. You play 40 cards or 30 cards instead of 15. And the games are very quick. And there's a party mode, but I have not played party mode. I think party mode is everybody gets a deck, but then you have to do what the game says. Like the game will say, put down a 3 intensity vocal card, and then someone has to have that card, and they put it down.
And then it makes a song.
And it makes the song. Okay. Right? And you have to bend to the machine's will.
Well, that's no fun.
But I've been having most fun just hanging out with friends and doing freestyle mode.
Just putting down cards?
Putting down different cards and stuff. the app for this game is also huge. It's like it's for me it's huge because I don't have a lot of space on my phone.
Yeah.
But it's easily over 100 megs.
Whoa, you
Yeah.
must have zero space
I have
on your
pretty
phone.
much no space. So
Holy
what I did
shit.
is I deleted Facebook from my phone so that I could make room for the app.
Okay.
I downloaded the app and I downloaded a bunch of the audio tracks that go with the game, right? Because it downloads the app, which is 100 megs, and then downloads additional files when you start up the app,
All right.
so you can play the cards. But here's where it eats up even more space, which is when you buy booster packs. Those are cards with new songs on them and new stems on them. So when you put it down and you don't have it on that phone, the game recognizes you don't have that song and it downloads it to your phone. Play this game on Wi-Fi. It'll eat your data.
Okay.
Right? And that's how the booster packs work. So you buy booster packs and you can either buy, I think they're like, in Canada it's $8 for a pack of 5.
Or the $24 one?
Or the $24 for a pack of 15.
Oof.
And those are specifically tailored to a specific genre.
Yeah.
So you can buy the hip hop pack or the rock pack and stuff.
I like the packaging for those.
Yeah, it's really nice. And the cards are super nice. They're nice thick stock cardboard. And you can feel like in the center where there's like a RFID chip in it. And that's how it works. And so there's a limit to how far the reader can read. So when you drop it down, if there's too many cards on the stack, it'll give you a little warning, so you just clear them off and do whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a really fun game. I like it a lot. But you really have to... I feel like if you're not a fan of music or making your own fun with it or experimenting with it, it's definitely not for you, especially at like $130 price point.
Yeah, that's where I was blown away when I saw that it was $130 here.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, the barrier to entry to this is high.
It's really high. And then on top of that, a lot of the cards are boosters. They're extras.
Yeah.
Right? So you get 60 cards, but that's 4 decks. Once you play with them all, they're only 15 cards each. Right? A lot of your mileage will come from trying to make your own beats and messing around with stuff, because they also let you manually mess with stuff like your beats per minute and the key the songs are in.
The thing I'm worried about this game is the support. Like, what's support for this going to be like?
I think support depends specifically on how well it sells during the holiday season.
That scares me.
If it does not, I can see this easily going the way of the dinosaur. Like it comes out, and if it's not like a holiday smash, I can see this just being dumped immediately. Like you have series 1s and 2 cards right now, and there's a good chunk of cards there, but yeah, if it doesn't sell, I can see like this is a steep investment, and I don't think these machines are inexpensive to make. So especially if Hasbro is selling them at $130. Yeah. So it's a really cool game. I really like it. To be honest, I like most of the music stuff Harmonix does. Yeah, but I sell it. Thanks. But again, like I find a lot of the fun in this game to be made by yourself. All right. To mix and match different beats. Yeah. Like if you want to hear Evanescence mixed with Carly Rae Jepsen's "Call Me Maybe."
Oh, that's a good track, though.
Yeah,
that is a good track.
So what if I told you it was the "Bring Me to Life" lyrics by Evanescence, but with the guitar riff of Carly Rae Jepsen?
I've heard that. I heard that on YouTube, I think.
Oh, people make dumb stuff on YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it's kind of trying to like take off of, right? Yeah. Just all the whole remix culture and stuff like that. I don't know how this... I've been watching certain mixes of like booster pack cards on YouTube.
Well, what the fuck are you?
And I don't... Because I want to know what songs come in what packs, right? And so I don't know how they're...
videos on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know how they're monetizing those videos. Because it's all licensed music. Right?
I don't know.
So I don't know. I don't know how that's working.
All right.
But yeah, it's a really interesting game.
Okay.
The other one I played is called Multi-Night. It's a card game. Multi-Night, I think, is basically like a phrase in Japanese where it's like don't waste or afraid of waste. Like something, use all your stuff, right? Don't waste. And what this game is, it's the best way to describe it is an art curation game. So each you and your opponents have an art gallery, right? And what you're trying to do is you're trying to build pieces, art pieces, that will either go in your gallery or in your sales wing. Ooh. And once you have reached 5 pieces in either the sales wing, or the art gallery, the game ends.
Hmm.
You count up your points. And how you do this is a really fucking complicated set of rules.
Oh,
It took
God.
me and my friends upwards of 5 play sessions and maybe 2 hours
What the fuck?
to learn this game that, once you know the rules, takes about 10 to 15 minutes to start and finish.
Oh my God.
Super short.
Was it what the fuck?
The rules are just very complicated and obtuse. So you have 4 zones in your gallery. You have your top zone, which is pretty much the actions you can take. So when you take an action, it depends on not only the card you have in the top, but the cards your opponents have in their top. So you go counterclockwise, and you go, okay, I start with my opponent. His card says I can do a smith action, and a smith action lets you make a piece. Then my other opponent's card says I can do a paper action, which a paper action either lets me make a paper material or craft a paper piece, right? When you make those pieces, they go underneath the other side. So you can either turn them into materials and they go in the bottom, which can help you create more complicated pieces. You can put them in your sides to help you gain more points. But the sides differ because there's a difference between putting it on the side of your gallery on top of your card and under your card.
Okay.
Because if a card is quote unquote covered by a card of the same type, you get like double points. And this game took 4 fucking ever to learn. But once I learned it, it was a really fun game that has really deep strategy. Because there's always like board state effects that are going off all the time. So you have to be quick on your toes to realize the changes that your opponents are trying to make, and either trying to counter them or position your hand in a way that you can take advantage of those. Because once they put down a card, it's left there, and those effects are there until the round comes back.
I see.
Right? So Smith, like I said, you get to make a card is super powerful, right? And because you can make a crafting thing from your hand. So you could just be like, I have this thing, bop. But Smith, after my turn is ended, is still there for everyone else to use.
Oh.
So you better make sure you get the most value out of that Smith card, right?
I see what you're saying, because
everyone else gets a chance at using your Smith card. So that's kind of like the simple breakdown, even though it sounded confusing because this game gets pretty deep.
So I shouldn't be playing this game if I'm not mentally aware.
If you're not if you're tired, like we were trying to play this game at midnight.
Oh, that's dumb. Okay.
You're the fools.
Listen, I didn't say we weren't. I just said the game was hard.
All right.
But it's pretty rewarding once you learn the rules and all the intricacies of each card and the different strategies you can take to just either dominate your opponents and creating doing an offensive strategy and just making all the points really fast, or doing a defensive strategy and just fucking your opponent in the ass.
Okay.
It was really fun. I liked it. So I did a lot of fun stuff this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. Except for some of those video game movies I watched were bad or didn't age well, like the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
No, that was just always bad.
Are you sure? Yeah, I liked it as a kid.
I never did.
I did. I was like, oh look, this bomb has Reebok branding on the bottom of his shoe.
No, that Mario scared me when I was a kid.
Oh, what? Real Italian plumber Mario?
Yeah, I was like, that's not Mario.
I don't know, man. I forgot that it's not Princess Peach in that game.
No.
Or in that movie, it's Princess Daisy.
Yeah.
And you save the king like in Super Mario 3 and all that dumb stuff. But watching it as an adult, you find certain things in that movie where you're like, why did that just happen?
Because
you know what happened specifically to make a kid laugh?
Yeah.
There's one scene where they're showing pretty much like Bowser's Kingdom, right? Where it's all like rugged New York and stuff. But the street they used is the exact same intersection that they used previously in the movie. And for like 90% of the scenes going forward. So you see the same sandwich shop in like 80% of the movie, right? You're like, what the hell? Other things like, while they're trying to show the chaos of the city, there's just a scene where a guy is riding a bike and he doesn't even try to turn. He's just like, oh, I'm wobbling. And he just goes straight into a guardrail. And that scene plays, I think, like 3 or 4 times. And it's like the same scene.
Awesome.
And you're like, man, what is this movie?
Not a masterpiece.
It's not. I watched Double Dragon for the first time.
Oh,
The
interesting.
Double Dragon movie. That's a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's a really bad movie.
Mm.
I watched The Wizard again.
Oh, why?
The Wizard is just straight up offensive now.
Oh, is it? I just remember it being bad.
It's also a bad. It's an It's an hour and a half long advertisement for Nintendo.
For
the glove and for Super Mario 3.
Yeah.
I love the Power Glove.
But fuck,
It's
you
so
can't
bad.
even use the glove in 3.
You can't. But here's the thing. This movie, as now I look at it from an adult. As a kid, I was like, it's a bunch of kids getting their freedom, going to the Nintendo World Championships, being awesome. Right? I look at it now as somewhat of an adult, and I'm like, this is a movie about a brother and some random girl who is also a child who like take advantage of their autistic brother to win prize money from unsuspecting adults where they're sharking them in arcade games and then going to the Nintendo World Championships.
Yeah, what's wrong?
It's really fucked up.
Young businessman.
And there's some jokes in there where I'm just like, some of the jokes like now, like I'm like, you just ruined that guy's life. There's a private eye who's trying to find these kids, right? And at one point near the end of the movie, it's like, I caught you, I found you, and you found the girl. And it's like, oh, you think that it's done? Her storyline's done, right? No. What does she do? She yells, "He touched my breasts." And she is an 11-year-old girl. And I'm like, you just ruined that man's life. That man's life is over. And they never touch on that character again after that.
You never need to know about it because it was just over. It was just over.
She ruined that guy's life.
That's one way to write out a character.
So she could watch her friend play in the Nintendo World Championships. Like, holy shit.
Yo, she's a ride or die homie.
Yeah, she is. She's a ride or die homie. Hot damn. Man, and then we watched Mortal Kombat movies.
Oh, those are good.
Those are fun.
Those
Those
are
are
good.
campy fun. You can tell in those movies they were having fun with what they were doing, and those are great.
Uh-huh.
But at no point did Liu Kang with his Jackie Chan hair drop an arcade machine on somebody.
No, he
I'm
did
very
not.
mad.
Okay.
I think the choice for Raiden in that movie is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
They pick Highlander.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Johnny Cage is great.
It's the best part of the movie.
He fights Scorpion in hell.
Doesn't he also fight Goro?
He does fight Goro. He punches him in the nuts.
Yeah, he does the splits.
He does the splits and punches Goro in the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Johnny Cage is great. Those movies are good. We watched the Tekken movies. Still some of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And then we watched the Street Fighter movies. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Street Fighter the movie, and The Legend of Chun-Li.
Oh, you did watch Legend of Chun-Li.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a bad movie. Hot damn.
Or is it great?
Not even Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas could save that movie.
There's a scene in there where she like crescent kicks someone, right? Like
Yeah.
she's just running.
Yeah, she's just running and she does like the spinning bird kick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Good.
And Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas is Vega,
Okay.
right? Also, there's a scene in that movie where they're like trying to be like all sensual because she has to like lure a lady to wherever she needs her to be. And like it's this really awkward like club dance scene where it's like, am I a lesbian or am I not? Come to the bathroom to find out. And it's like, what is happening in this scene? It's like neither of these actresses feel comfortable being close to another woman like in this sort of scenario, and you can like see it on their face where they're like,
That's what makes it real.
it's fucking bad.
No, Anthony, that's what makes it real.
So yeah, I recommend you put all your friends through that shit. Maybe not the Tekken movies. I wouldn't wish that even on my worst opponents. But
Okay.
I can't believe how bad that Double Dragon movie is.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. That movie we dubbed it's like, was it Melissa Milano? Is that her name?
Alyssa.
Alyssa Milano is
Yeah.
in that movie. And we named that movie Double Dragon : That's a Tight Shirt.
Oh yeah.
Alyssa Milano is wearing a tight shirt in that
90s Alyssa Milano only wore
movie.
tight shirts.
I'm like, yeah, Double Dragon : That's a tight shirt.
Yeah, I remember.
That's it.
Awesome. Yeah. If you guys want to know, just look up Alyssa Milano in the Charmed.
That's a tight shirt.
She wears the tightest shirts.
That's a tight shirt.
I didn't complain.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said that's a tight shirt.
Yeah.
It's just a statement.
Okay, great. Thanks for listening, guys. If you have anything you want to say, you know where to find us. You know where to write in. Thank you, Paul, for the questions.
I like how we went from talking about sexual assault allegations to Alyssa Milano wearing a tight shirt.
Oh, damn. See that? We're playing both sides. Oh, don't sue us. Don't file a complaint against us.
Yeah, please. Well, we're our own bosses, so.
That's true. Oh, that's true. That's true. If I assaulted you, you couldn't do shit because I'm the boss.
But also vice versa.
No. It doesn't work that way. No.
We're co-owners of this thing.
But no.
God damn it.
I just don't think that's how it works.
God damn it.
Like, I'm reading the paper here.
There's no paper you're looking at. This show's over. All right. Bye.